It has been agreed that we can get back to above 10% of GDP from the current 8% level by unblocking constraints to growth. 6 task teams were established between the DMRE and Mineral Council to focus on exploration, the policy and regulatory framework, infrastructure constraints, local procurement and beneficiation, improving the operational environment, including dealing with crime, a one-stop shop for unblocking outstanding mining licenses and rights, and a communications task team. We also want to encourage much greater exploration with a target of 5% of global total exploration expenditure. We have often pointed out that between 2000 and 2018, South Africa saw only $194 million per annum, or 1% of total world exploration spending, and only 0.1% of greenfield exploration spending. This compared to South Africa's 5% share in early 2000s. We can and should turn this around. Exploration is the lifeblood of the sector and the future of mining. A survey of Mineral Council member companies concluded in December 2020 indicated that they have about 170 outstanding mining rights, prospecting right, Section 11 change of ownership, renewals and environmental authorizations, which are holding back projects worth about 30 billion that could be spent and help the economy if these were to be unblocked. The one-stop shop team has been looking at these outstanding rights and authorizations, and progress is being made by the DMRE in resolving the blockages. We are in deep engagement with the DMRE Minister and his Director General over ways to resolve these challenges and to re-energize and revive the mining industry. This is what we are seeking. Discard the unsatisfactory SAMRED application system and development of a new electronic and transparent and reliable online mining cadastral system. Crack down on corruption. We require clarity in focusing statutory provisions. We also need speeding up of licensing time periods. And of course, regular DMRE reporting license applications. We anticipate a new exploration plan will soon be released, along with the RFP for a new cadastral system by the DMRE. The license backlog is being tackled and progress is being made. We are seeing progress in resolving infrastructural constraints, and there is a concentration on enabling investment by mining in self-generation. In this regard, we need the license cap to be raised to 50 megawatt and the various regulatory time periods to be shortened.
We cannot hope to realize the true economic, transformational and developmental potential of South Africa's mineral resource endowment if we are not competitive as a globally competitive mining jurisdiction. And that, again, talks to, if we want to get back to over 10% of GDP, if we want to attract 5% of global exploration spend, we have to be a lot more competitive. And this is something that on which we agree, and as industry and government, we obviously have these 6 task teams, which Mxolisi has alluded to, one on exploration, one on looking at how we can improve the regulatory related issues, and that's obviously looking at replacing SAMRED with a better cadastral system, the dealing with the backlogs on mining licensing and other licenses. They might be water use licenses, they might be environmental authorizations, there might be Section 11 change of ownership approvals, etc., etc. But progress is being made on those. And then obviously unblocking infrastructural constraints. On the exploration strategy, we're expecting that to be released very soon. It's not us holding it back from the Minerals Council perspective. I did have a chat to the DG very recently, and hopefully we'll see that released quite soon. And then on the embedded generation side, the Minister talked about us bringing the projects forward. We have been taking forward through into the DMRE a number of the different projects that the industry is working on, and progress is being made on looking at how we can unblock each of these different areas. And then obviously we have contributed to the economic reconstruction plan. On the embedded generation side, just to say the approval of the Goldfields 40 megawatt plant, with the cooperation of the Eskom leadership, NERSA and others, is just testament to what can be done. And I think if we work on shortening the licensing periods, the grid tie connection periods, making sure that the environmental authorization process is also reduced from a time perspective, we can certainly bail out or certainly contribute significantly to alleviating South Africa's electricity shortages. I think a critical comment here to make is that until all citizens realize that Eskom doesn't have the ability to generate enough electricity now or at peak, and that we need supplemental supply, the better it will be to bring on much greater extra private sector investment in energy, which we think can come on stream fairly quickly, and that will certainly contribute to lifting South Africa's growth rate. I guess we have been asked why the industry has pursued certain areas on the legal route to deal with certain aspects of the mining charter. Our response is that we actually do support the broad charter, and the charter that the Minister produced in 2018 was a far cry from the very bad charter produced by the previous Minister. But there is something that we need to achieve, and that's creating certainty, particularly on the issue of continuing consequences, given its impact that it has on unlocking much greater further long-term investment in the sector.